Okay, so this is um it's good to say Psalm 91 every day. Psalm 91. He that dwelleth in the secret place of the Most High shall abide under the shadow of the Almighty. I will say of the Lord, He's my refuge and my fortress. My God, in Him will I trust. Surely He shall deliver thee from the snare of the fowler and from the noisome pestilence. He shall cover thee with His feathers, and under His wings shalt thou trust. His truth shall be thy shield and buckler. Thou shalt not be afraid for the terror by night, nor for the arrow that flieth by day, nor for the pestilence that walketh in darkness, nor for the destruction that wasteth at noonday. 1,000 shall fall at thy side, and 10,000 at thy right hand, but it shall not come nigh thee. Only with thine eyes shalt thou behold and see the reward of the wicked, because thou hast made the Lord, which is my refuge, even the Most High, thy habitation. There shall no evil befall thee, neither shall any plague come nigh thy dwelling. For he shall give his angels charge over thee, to keep thee in all thy ways. They shall bear thee up in their hands, lest thou dash thy foot against a stone. Thou shalt tread upon the lion and adder. The young lion and the dragon shalt thou trample under feet, because he hath set his love upon me. Therefore will I deliver him. I will set him on high, because he hath known my name. He shall call upon me, and I will answer him. I will be with him in trouble. I will deliver him and honor him. With long life will I satisfy him, and shew him my salvation. So there's a lot of strange worldly things going on right now. But I'm going to get on here and ask you. I don't know what that was. Animal just ran through. Anyways, I'm going to get on here and ask you to look at your own. This is in a very important hour. We definitely are in the last days. Meaning, people will try to. You can't see the truth unless you talk to God and you ask God and you walk with God. Because if you're doing other things and you're not walking with Him, you're not going to see any truth. You're going to get lies, deceit, confusion, all those things. I promise you. So when you decide and choose to walk with God, you're going to get the truth in all things. So the last days, meaning everybody on the internet and social media always talks about like 144, whatever. I use the hashtags too. Um, there's something that I put on Instagram where it's because I had gotten a revelation about it, and it was talking about pure hearted. Just go on there and maybe you can look for it, hopefully, and find it, because there's a lot of posts on there. Instagram is Beauty by Roxy Empire _ I want to say I still left it the same, I think. Anyway, so the last days, meaning that, of course, there's a lot of wickedness. There's always been wickedness in the world, but there's a lot of wickedness. There's a lot of deception. There's a lot of confusion. There's a lot of lies and things like that. But for God's true people and God's true remnant right now, the 144, a lot are still in confusion. A lot are still being used and manipulated. So it's super important to super important to focus on your own salvation right now. Meaning, look around you and see what it is. Just, I don't know why I wanted to say the word consecrated. So look it up. Look it up and see what it means. But each individual person right now absolutely must look within themselves to be able to decipher what it is that God wants you to do, if you choose and decide to walk with Him and Him walk with you. If you do want to see the truth in all things. to call him into your life and let him teach you and show you where we're at as a whole in the world and also individually. Um, the walk is not easy for a lot of us, and I know there's a lot of targeted individuals. If you don't know why you are targeted, I can guarantee you at some point you were going the correct way in your life. You were either talking about God or Jesus, um, and you were going the right way. However, as those things were happening and as you decided to do those things and get stronger in the Lord and choose to do right by Him, what happens is that other things start happening. But I also must say this, that when those things are allowed to happen, it's for your, it really is sometimes I say sometimes because there's a lot of things that happen that end up turning out to be for your good and your salvation. And I said this before, I'm not talking spiritual manipulation here because there's a lot of that deceit out there too. I'm talking about when you look back on your own life and you see what happened in certain areas of your life, you start to realize that some things were allowed to happen for your own good, for His glory. To be honest with you, for your own soul salvation, but for His glory. And the people that did things to you, um, and still do things, because let me tell you, let me tell you, I'm telling you now, man, justice is gonna be served because I got people sitting at my job just waiting in the parking lot thinking they're sneaky and they're not, sitting inside the job and then waiting till I get off work, waiting before I go to work. It's ridiculous. But anyways, justice will be served regardless because God is mightier and God is more powerful. And they're about to find out. And like I said, this is a whole new season. No games. So anyways, so the things that had happened to you in the past, as a targeted individual, was to hold you back and to hold you down. Things were taken away from you. People were taken away from you. Here's where I'm talking about spiritual manipulation. Now, the lie, and all of that happening is what is it out there right now? So so the purpose of those things that were done were to downtrodden you, to hold you down, to hold you back, to make you lose your faith, to make you lose your walking towards your calling, to walk towards your purpose and what you were supposed to do on this earth. Those things were to hold you down and hold you back. And the spiritual gaslighting is to tell you, "Oh, you lost your family um and because of whatever." You know what I mean? Like there's so many lies out there. I can't even think of one right now. But things were taken away from you so that way you would lose hope and lose your faith. Because as human beings, we all need faith and we all need hope, right? We need hope in something. So if you're not hoping in God and relying on God anymore, I bet you're feeling like your spirit is missing something because it is. And I'm still trying to think what the one of the lies out there is. Oh, huge one. I already posted that on Instagram too. Huge one. So you're told that that your family did this and that, whatever, because they're karmics. No, your family is just not saved. Your family's not saved. So what does that mean? That means that the enemy, who works through people just as God works through people, when I say the enemy, it's definitely through people, is able to now manipulate and use your family and or loved ones and boyfriends, girlfriends, wives, husbands, whomever. If somebody's not saved and they're not walking in their calling and their purpose, they're able to be used. And that also may be you at this point, because there's a lot of people in this world who aren't walking in their calling and in their purpose, um, because they've been held back and held down. So, yeah, huge spiritual gaslighting lie. Oh, they're karmic family members. No, they're not saved by God and they're not walking in their purpose because they've been held back also. And the main purpose was because you have a huge calling. So there's that. Yeah, that's the huge one that I see, which I actually called out. Like I said, look on Instagram, whatever. And my purpose and point is not to um it's to expose, the truth. It's to speak the truth of what is happening and what is going on. That's part of my purpose. That's part of my calling. And that's why I know justice is going to be served. And that's why I know that I'm in a new season and I know I am fiercely protected. So, God doesn't give us a spirit of fear. The only way, let me talk about that. Sorry. The only way that we are able to be put into a state of fear, um, is when we're not walking in our purpose, is when we're not doing the right things, is when we're not doing what God wants us to do, period. Because then you don't have his protection. When we're walking, that's another plan of the enemy. When we're walking out of his will and out of his purpose and out of his calling, that means that we don't have his protection. Is he still there? Yes, he's still there. However, and I'm not even going to say you don't completely have his protection. It's just that you're able then to be used as, a puppet, or able to easily be manipulated and or lied to about things in life. So be careful in these last days on who you talk to, who you give any information to, but more importantly, what you do in your own life, what you're doing for your own soul salvation. That is the most important right now, because as you can see, as you know, you're running out of time, but God's people have this, um, and I'm talking about right now, God's people have this certain sense of peace, and his mighty protection, his mighty hand is definitely upon all of his people. But it's your responsibility and it's up to you who you allow in your life. If you see that they're able to be used and manipulated and used as a puppet, then maybe keep your distance and see, where that goes. But more importantly, step, what's the word I'm going to say? Make sure that you're walking in his will and what it is that he wants you to do. And if you're unsure, ask him. Ask God to show you and to help you with whatever it is that you need help with. And he will be there. He's not far at all right now. He's not far at all. He's right here. So, love y'all. God bless, beautiful souls. And take care.